It was not until much later that I found out what was really going on. They were being turned into statues somehow. And when I voiced my concerns as to the morality of preying upon the less fortunate when we already had so much, they said that I would be turned into stone after they broke my knees.
Looks like they're keeping their promise slowly.
Time seems to have broken my knees far better than they could have. One of the pitfalls of getting old and soon having said that I cannot leave.
He says the masters are aware of what's going on.
Oh yes, runs in the family, passed down from generation to generation. Great stone carvers and all that.
So does the entire family know?
Well, right now the entire family is the two masters. They had a son. He was turned into stone quite recently.
But is that when it escaped?
Shortly thereafter, yes.
All right, see, look, Gerald, we're only going to kill 2 people today. Well, I mean, those 2 plus the 2 gangsters. So I'm going to let them know that 2 gangsters are going to come by later, and we're going to pin it all on them. And if you don't ever want to get shaken again, you'll go with that story.
Hold on. Here, Eric. That's all. Let's pull Eric to the side. Why don't we just, Yoga obviously doesn't like us.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we ask him just to disable all the security until they got the gate to go home? Tell him he has the night off. And then just let him know we're going to handle this whole Gorgon thing. You know, he might just help us out.
That's not a bad thing. Sure.
Something about being in his house, we steal all this money. I don't. That's you, Tom. Fuck you, Tom. No.
You had to fight for everything you had growing up. These guys just born into.
He came from a middle class family, just like Eric. Why do you keep assuming that we just hate rich people? Joe's people's money was affected. His ex-wife and child support took it all. Oh, that was just like any other man. He has no problem with money.
Also, you don't have to worry about child support. That's what I was.
Yeah, Joe D. Child support will never be an issue for you again. You put his funeral on your credit cards, though, so I guess you'll be doing child support for a while, making them minimum payments.
At 18% interest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so yeah, we should get the old guy to go ahead and send the security guy home and
We can do all that, but those gangsters are gonna have to take the fall for what's about to happen because we can't have people looking for us while we're hunting.
I'm not shaking anybody anymore.
He's gonna be fine.
I look over at Jeffrey. I think you may be looking for work in the future. Is the Gorgon still out of its cage, Jeffrey?
Oh yes, it's been gone for quite a few days now. It's quite concerning.
Any idea where?
I would imagine coming back here sometime to kill the other masters.
Are they concerned about this?
Quite concerned, they're beside themselves.
But they've still turned in for the evening in the master bedroom.
No, they have to keep up appearances, they said.
I'll let Eric take lead. This was his plan.
Jeffrey, is there any rope available?
I'm sure I could fetch you some lengths of rope from the stable.
Just tell me where it is.
And he gives you some directions to the stable. You can get some rope quickly.
All right. I make my way up to the roof, and I want to secure the rope.
Find like a outcropping, like one of those fancy stone gargoyles. Got it.
And I want to make sure it's sturdy.
Super sturdy. Like, yeah, you can swing off this thing.
Secure the rope around my waist. I hop off and propel into the window. I fire off a few shots to break the window first.
It's gonna be a grit roll. Joe, you hear from outside the door, pop, pop, whoosh, and you hear somebody land on the floor outside, and a scream. Eric, inside you see, facing kind of at the door, the wife has a sheet that she's getting ready to throw over whatever comes to the door, and the husband has a golf club.
oh my god. Oh.
So they were setting a trap.
Like if Gorgon was coming, they were super dead. They're super dead.
The wife is panicking. You've got a gun. You just broke their window. The husband, he raises the golf club at you, but it's clear he doesn't know what to do with it. He's shaking. Gerald and Joe kick the door open, and the wife screams again. Ah! The husband, he's frozen. He's got that panic moment sort of thing.
I'm sure he's already a statue. Just take the golf club away.
What are you doing here?
Damn,
look, just take the money.
We didn't come here to rob you. We're going to, but that's not what we came here for.
We came here because your little pet got free, and we need to know everything you know about it so that we can stop it.
Start shaking holes in a minute. They start talking.
I'm gonna roll some grit for you. Gerald and Eric, this guy does a really good Batman Where's the Joker Where's the Gorgon? What do you know about the Gorgon? I need you to tell me right now.
I love him with a little fight. You gotta let me.
I'm not in this house with you right now. You're in this house with me. Short of pissing their pants, they're ready to talk. I don't know where it is. It's supposed to be locked up in the basement. The staff is under strict instructions to not go down there because.
Well, it's probably stoning hobos until it decides to come after you.
It already got my son. There were no shortage of times where vengeance was not promised, but that had been going down for generations, since the 1500s.
Mm-hmm.
This is just how the family is. I mean, it's just people who didn't matter.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Alright, I'm gonna shake somebody. Let's shake somebody. Look, tell me this much. How did you avoid being turned into stone?
Oh, the goggles.
Goggles?
Goggles?
Yeah, fancy mirrored glasses that
Sorry.
That would reflect the light in such a way that it was never a direct look. Goggles, camera, screens. You put the goggles on, it takes a video of what you're looking at and projects it on a screen that's right next to your eyes. The same thing as looking at it, except you're not looking at it.
And you have that all set up here.
Oh, it's in the basement.
Still. Right. So new plan.
Yeah.
Probably coming back. We're gonna use them as bait and use their virtual reality tech during the ritual so that I can see what I'm trying to murder.
Yeah, they tell you where the goggles are. They're downstairs. They ask you not to kill them.
Well, we might not have to. I tie them up, gag them. I don't want them screaming or anything.
Okay.
And we start getting everything up for the ambush.
Yeah, I'll take one of the family members down there, but what I do is I take my cell phone and I put it into video mode and look through that. So just in case it decides to pop up on me, I'm not looking at it directly.
Amelia leads you downstairs. There's 2 sets of goggles, and she shows you where they are, and she just keeps telling you not to kill her, that she'll do anything, and she means anything if you just let her go.
I'm not promising anything.
Yeah.
Any of the old antique ones?
Eric is rubbing off on you.
I'm not. No.
Literally.
Joe's hardening up here.
Stop it. No.
It's going through
Not
a trying
everything.
time.
Yeah, they do have some of the antique glasses. Yeah, it's set up in such a way where you put them on where everything's kind of like wonky, but you can see what's in front of you and you have a decent sense of direction. Yeah, you get a couple pairs of those as well.
I come back up, we tie her up, give them both a set of the VR sets, and I take the old pair. Since I'll be unconscious with the morphine and be out of it, I'll be useless, so I'll take the other pair. You ever talk to it?
Yeah, it's something else.
How's that?
She's got a way about her. If you didn't know what she was up to, she'll make you smile right before she kills you.
Well, that explains Mitch's half chub.
All right, fellas, what's our next move?
You have a place out back to entertain, I would imagine, in a house like this.
Yeah, the courtyard.
I want to see if we get Jeffrey to get out some drinks and maybe some food real quick, and you can have a late night out, enjoying the evening.
All right. What do you need us to do?
Enjoy yourself, act as those things are normal. We're going to set ourselves up, and hopefully the creature will show up. And when it does, we will deal with it.
All right, so yeah, I want to set up with the as near the couple as I can be while still being out of sight.
The goons, so their job is to sit with the couple and pretend to mingle.
I mean, we're going to be vulnerable once I take the dope and we have the walkie-talkies.
Oh yeah, that we stole from
From a certain
Rico.
location. Once we get the signal from Eric, we can begin a ritual. We just get a room. Just go into one of the nearby rooms.
They get a
Yeah.
room.
We get her
Get
a
room,
back
I know.
seat.
The back of the
Wow.
game, all over the place.
Much case. No, but yeah, probably whatever the back door. However it is you leave the house to get to the courtyard, we're right by that.
Right by that back door.
Damn it.
Hovering right around it.
You guys are in the back room together, close to each other. Joe has his shirt off. You're getting ready to share a needle with him as you whisper soft words over his body to help put him into a state of deep relaxation.
Everything you said is true.
Yay!
Joe, you're just pretty much waiting to get stuck with a shit ton of drugs. Eric, there's an area from the table where these guys are set up. You've got the mafia guys in, and they're sitting down.
We need to clear out that safe first. Because even if all this goes right, we're not going to have a whole lot of time. Let's get that safe cleared.
All right, you make your way upstairs, and the combination that Jeffrey had given you Works on the safe without any problems. Inside, you find some papers that are pretty much meaningless to you, but you do find about $15,000 in cash and a couple of silver lockets, which look to be heirlooms.
They will be melted down into bullets.
Now, was Eric the only person who went upstairs to take care of that technicality?
Yeah, I could have to keep the family focused on their job.
Okay, so Eric, how much money did they find?
I assume he's doing the...
Dude, all I found were these lockets, bro. I'll let them know how much is in there. Like, we don't actually need money.
we can totally cut Joe out.
I don't know. I don't want to get shaken.
He's got a strong pimp hand on him. Eric, you're outside. There's a secluded area behind some of the landscaping that would make an excellent point for you to crouch down and be able to see what's happening. It's approaching 9 p.m. The outside lights flicker on. Eric, you hear a noise approaching from around the side of the house. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see a woman dressed in white with long blonde hair.
I would text them and let them know.
You see one of them look down, checks his belt, and he reads the message and he gives a nod to the other guy. The woman walks up to the table. All of the color drains from Amelia and Donovan's faces. The woman looks at them with hateful eyes. I have been your prisoner in that dungeon, of course, for 500 years. And that would not be enough time for me to do everything to you that would make me feel good about it. But I can start to make you suffer. And she begins walking over to the table. Now, the two mafia guys, they're like, well, this is what we're here to do. We're going to do this. And they stand up out of their chairs and they start to walk over. And you hear a bit of a hissing sound. Gerald, I'm going to roll for your chanting here. Joe, I'm going to make a grit check for you to make sure you don't die. I'm going to start with you, Joe. You get stabbed in one of your veins with a syringe full of morphine. You're worried for a moment, and then all of that goes away. Everything is happy and mellow. There is no crazy ex accusing you of murder. There is no dead kid. There's no crippling credit card debt at high interest rates.
You'll never be able to pay off in this lifetime. Maybe that's what you could use your part of the score for. Paying down your debt.
I mean, that would kind of put a dent in it. But none of that matters because you're just floating on a cloud. And you just wish you could stay here forever because there's no pain, the loss of your only son, who you love more than life itself and was taken from you cruelly. It's just you in this happy place. Gerald, yeah, Joe is out. He is like out. So you start doing the incantations around him and everything's going like it should. You've done this before. You do notice Joe's arms, the tattoos on them are starting to glow, starting at his wrists and moving in towards his chest in like a pulsing pattern. So he lights up and like the light travels and moves into his center and then just kind of collects there. Eric, you would notice from your hiding place, you feel stronger. You do also notice some glowing on your hands.
Your cover is totally blown.
The two mafia guys get up. They start making their way towards her to put the screws to her. And you hear hissing when all of a sudden from around the corner, through the safety of the virtual goggles, you see her hair has turned from this gorgeous shoulder-length blonde hair into a mass of writhing snakes. Man, it's really distracting from the things that you don't want to be distracted from. She's quite a looker. Like, if it only wasn't for that head full of snakes, you think. Like, California 9.5, easy.
Wow. So that's like a Florida 20.
Yeah, she doesn't belong in these parts. The two mafia guys, they take about 4 steps each, and they get slower, and then they turn to stone.
Hey, we're not for this. Jesus.
They took 2 steps. One of them is trying to reach out towards her. You almost get like the Battlestar Galactica death pose. Not quite that pronounced. Almost like a dramatic pause that never finishes. They make some decent statues. The man and the woman are both doing this. They're looking away, and the woman is walking towards them and grabs the man by the shirt and lifts him up with one hand and starts shaking him. Look at me. You look at me.
So she's got the dude. She's shaking him. I'll wait till she graduates to something more violent, and then I'll dash out and try to chop off her head and his head. I want to see if I can do it too.
The juice is so you can put her to sleep.
I can brace myself with my left hand by touching her to get some leverage, and then haul off. You can't let it be on too long because Joe might not wake up, which might not be a bad thing for Joe.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, he might just be better off dead.
Yeah, I'll just get that eternal peace.
puts out her hand like this, and her fingernails grow into points, and she starts slashing at Donovan's arms to try and get him to take his hands away from his face. And there's a lot of blood very quickly.
That looks like my cue.
Donovan is screaming, Amelia is screaming, and you're able to slip up behind like a statue in between the other actual statues. She's going to get a reaction roll. It's not so much that she hears you, it's that you make your move right when she was making a different move, and you miss. She sees the goggles, she sees the machete, and she gives you her full attention. On the plus side, you don't turn to stone.
And I have to continue to maintain this chant, right?
Correct.
Go for another touch.
She's going to try and slash you. You get ready and you make a wild swing with the machete, which she easily dodges. And she's got position, she's got leverage, and she drills you good right into your center mass. And you've got 5 cuts that open. You're going to need a lot of stitches.
And morphine.
And morphine. But when she touches your chest, you're able to release the power of the ritual into her. And it goes through her hand and up her arm. And she does one of these, where she leans back and her eyes roll into the back of her head. And then she collapses, passed out.
I give up, throw my left hand over my wounds as if that's doing anything.
Donovan is pretty much cradling his slashed up arm, trying to stop the bleeding. And Amelia is just a quivering mess.
I walk over, I motion Amelia over so that she can comfort her husband or whatever.
Why don't you just make them look at her unconscious body? Does that work?
You can't leave that out there. He looks down at Donovan, clutching his arm or whatever. And then he looks over at Amelia. He puts on a, I don't know how convincing it is, because my con game is only 3. But tensions are heightened. So I put on a like consoling face, I guess. Flip the machete around so that when I wave her over, it's the handle first, so it doesn't look like a threat or anything, so that she can be with her husband now that this horrible ordeal is over. If she comes over, drops down there with her husband, with no words at all, no ceremony, no preamble, just first Donovan. Like, I let that moment of shock and horror wash over Amelia.
Okay.
Like, just that instant, what? But before she can scream or anything like that, I lop her head off. The bodies don't fall over by themselves. I nudge them over as I make my way to the Gorgon. Get this one clean slice, chop that head off as well. And then I head back over to the back of the house. Let them know it's done.
Okay, Gerald, it's done. Quick, start to wake Joe up.
Yep.
You do your part just fine. Now, here's the real roll. I just want to see. 8.
Wait.
Gerald stabs your chest with a syringe full of adrenaline, shooting it right into your heart. You feel like you've ran a marathon and you're having a panic attack at the time.
As soon as he wakes up, I chop his head.
Whop. I look outside, see a bunch of beheaded people. Well, Eric snapped. I shoot him.
First, I chop your bullet in half, and then I chop it.
Jesus. Why are you like a super samurai? What happened?
Is it over?
Yeah, it's time to go. It's dead. Let's not look at its corpse just in case the myths are right. Just,
What do you do with the head? Burn it?
I don't know. I'm thinking about leaving it here, but if it does still have power, then it will just turn everyone who comes here to stone.
Put it in the bag.
And bag it up. Now there's blood everywhere. There's 2 stone mafia guys.
We're walking out into the courtyard. What happened to those 2?
Oh, looks like the heads fell off.
I do kind of give Eric a look like, wow.
I don't see shit. But when I look at them,
Go upstairs. Jeeves still up there? Or Jeeves, Jeffrey? Now might be a good time to get out of Dodge.
Oh, really ahead of you, sir?
Right now.
I'll fetch the briefcase I had prepared.
Tell Jeffrey on his way out to open the front gate. I make a 911 call from the burner saying about a reported break-in at this estate.
You guys get the hell out of Dodge. You call in the phony 911 call. You make all the preparations to make sure that it looks like what it isn't. You guys are able to get yourselves away from the situation. The Gorgon is Eric has a pile full of money that he shares with the group as a slush fund. Okay, Gerald's driving.
check on.
You're still in a morphine coma. I lay you in the back gently like a swaddled babe.
And he says, shotgun.
Good boy.
Eric's riding the front seat. Gerald's driving. Joe, you're laid down in the back.
This was another successful mission. Like, we did it. We did well. Got my earbuds in, just ready to tackle the next thing.
Joe, with little sense he has, you know, they asked like, so what's next? We're gonna go after Carter now, right?
Yep. Just like I said we would.
Well, we got to make a stop and pick up the demon.
I'm kind of out of it. I obviously missed something. What happened back there?
We took care of the problem.
The Gorgon got it.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Gorgon decide to chop off their head?
I'd be less conflicted.
Monster hunters, right?
Yeah.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for that to work out of your system.
It's a 44-hour drive from Florida to Washington.
I drove down there. Yeah, I got to do something with that. I gotta do something with my car. 2004 Dodge. All right, I'm selling it.
Did you say 2000?
Yep.
2004 Dodge?
Okay, what kind of Dodge? I'm going to look up the blue book on it right now. Stratus. Durango.
Stratus. Well, I was thinking Stratus.
How many miles it got on it, baby?
235.
Jesus.
Driving back and forth Pennsylvania and just takes the used car lot and see what he can get for it.
He tells you $2,500, but you know it's worth more.
I mean, look at these tires. They're not worn, even wear. I just replaced the water pump. Oil change. Look, I still have all my receipts. This is great shape.
All right. Let me talk to my manager. He's not going to like this. Why don't you have yourself some coffee? And can I interest you in a new Stratus? Why don't you look right over there?
Just trying to get rid of it.
2012. One owner, 100,000 miles. Runs like a dream.
Manager.
Runs like a
Yep,
dream.
manager.
All right. I'll be right back. And he goes, and he comes back, and he goes, all right. I can tell you drive a tough bargain. He says I can go as high as $2,700.
All right, it's cool. Gotta go.
He cuts you a check, a cashier's check, which you can take to any bank. Gerald and Eric, how do you feel about this? Dude just sold his car and says he's hanging with you now. He didn't even ask you guys.
He followed me. I told him the plan.
Gerald's in a weird place right now. He had decided to start mentoring Joe here. Gerald probably would have volunteered to help get him more money, but right now he's still reconciling the death of those two people. He doesn't generally agree with killing people no matter what. Like, there's a difference between being a monster hunter and just a murderer. These people were terrible and came from a long line of terrible people who turned people into statues for money.
While I'm waiting for my money, I mean, if I can get Conway off, just motion him over.
If you're going to get me off, it's going to be with people.
I offer him a cup of coffee. You cool with what happened last night? I'll tell you right off, I'm not. I would have thought cutting up the heads off people that I mean, maybe be outside of your wheelhouse. You know, I mean, is this the way it's always going to be? I didn't come here to judge men. If this is the way it's going to be all the way there, I'll take a flight.
Well, there's no real right way to go about it. Every hunter you meet is going to have a different way of looking at things. A good number of them aren't going to be all there. Would I have killed those people? No. But you're right. I couldn't exactly turn them over to the cop.
And I get that. I see the rationale. I do. I see where he's going with it. I like Eric. He's a smart guy. I don't know what I'm going to do the next time he goes to Frank Castle.
Who?
Is that a rapper's name?
I don't know. Dirty Harry?
I get where you're going.
Eastwood. No, yeah, okay.
Hopefully that's not his normal mode.
So you just pretty much just starting to get to know him too.
When you find somebody doing this job that pretty much fills whatever holes in your resume you may have, probably best to stick with them. You live longer.
I understand people are going to die, man, but we're not the ones out there intentionally trying to do it, are we?
I'm not exactly happy with it, Joe, but at the same time, I'm not going to lose a ton of sleep over it. I'm just going to move on and keep doing my job. You know what they say about those who hunt monsters, right?
No, what?
They tend to become monsters.
All right, I'll wrap it up. I'll drink my coffee and get my check.
Gerald, as this is wrapping up, out of the corner of the eye, you do see the figurative wax handlebar mustache on the used car dealer who knows that he just took poor Joe for a ride. Joe, you get your money, $2,700, cashier's check, which I'm not going to make you go to a place and roleplay cashing it. That's the most ridiculously dull thing to have to roleplay.
I don't know, I might get...
Can I see some ID?
Yeah.
You have a phone bill? It says here you live in Detroit.
Yeah, I'm going to need 2 forms of ID.
Oh, really?
You start heading out hauling ass for Washington. Do you drive there in such a way that would save you a large amount of time but risk yourselves getting pulled over?
I don't know, we got 2 black guys in the car.
I'll just take turns driving a little over speed limit.
We drive where we would be guaranteed to get a ticket if we're pulled over. We don't go so fast as to the cops shoot us in the back for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've got Gerald there. Gerald is waiting to come.
But if it's my turn to sleep and they get pulled over in an old Lincoln Continental, there's 2 black guys up front and a dude, like, that could look bad.
Yeah, Eric and I know better.
Okay. All right. So you guys hit the road, which brings me to my favorite part of the session, which is the opening cinematic. It is my favorite part of the session because I don't have to interact with my characters.
That was the journey so far moment.
Aaron, you missed your cue.
I missed my key.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, you don't. You have to wait till next week. You fucked it up. You had one job.
We'll see.
Megan had no idea where she was. They hadn't removed the blindfold in days, and she heard voices arguing. Do you have any idea what is at stake here? What kind of risk your colossal stupidity has just brought down on us?